is in the ring right now. Wolfie D from that team is going to be challenging for the belt. And over on the left of the screen, you can see Nightmare Danny Davis. There he is right there, the USWA middleweight champion, headed for the ring right now to defend his belt against Wolfie D here today. Now, we'd like to get J.C. Ice, Jamie Dundee, and that hubcap out of there and have this an excellent one-against-one middleweight title match. Wolfie D is getting the title shot against the champion, Danny Davis. No prediction a little bit earlier from Master of Terror as to who might win the match. I got to tell you personally, you got to figure that the champion is the favorite going in here. Danny Davis. There's the referee right there, Paul Neighbors, and he'll be trying to keep things straight here. Oh, okay. The middleweight title belt being handed out of the ring. Referee calls for the bell, and we are underway. Wolfie D already trying to call timeout. He backs into the corner. Danny Davis ready to go here against it. Danny Davis won this middleweight title and has been able to hang on to it a good while. And what is this? J.C. Ice jumping up on the ring apron claiming that Danny Davis pulled tight. Not true. Man, I'd feel a lot better about this situation if J.C. Ice wasn't out here. Anyway, Danny Davis doesn't seem to be too worried about him. He's paying attention properly to his opponent. That's what you have to do to win championship matches. You have to focus on your opponent. Realize that he is the one you got to beat. Put his shoulders down, get a 3 count, grab your belt, and walk out of here. That's what Danny Davis is thinking right now. Looked to me like perhaps a little hair pulling. At least Wolfie D was thinking about it. Danny Davis jumps over Wolfie D doing that front thing, but all of a sudden he turns around, and there's the champion waiting to put him down on the mat. Danny has Wolfie D on the mat, working on the upper arm, the left arm. Not going for a pin at the moment, but hanging on nonetheless. Paul Neighbors, the referee, has warned J.C. Ice to stay out of it, to keep his hands out of the ring. Oh, nice move by Davis. Wolfie D looked like he was going to come up with an advantage, but Danny Davis was able to keep rolling just a little bit and actually use Wolfie D's own momentum to take him over on the mat, and Danny Davis is the one who still has the advantage. Champion looking good here in the early going. The USWA middleweight title is on the line. Wandering around the ring, it's Wolfie D's tag team partner in tag team matches, J.C. Ice. Danny Davis, there's J.C. You can see him sneaking around the ring there. Danny holding on to that left arm bar. Wolfie D has him back into the turnbuckles, firing a right fist into the midsection. Now to the back of the head. Buggy whip across the way. But Danny Davis moves out of the way as Wolfie D was going to go into the corner with his shoulder. And again, it's the champion with the advantage. That's Wolfie D, the challenger. A man who would like to walk out of here as the middleweight champion. Danny Davis, the Nightmare, bent on keeping the belt. Oh, back in the corner. Wolfie D doing some damage. Danny Davis whipped across the ring and hits hard. Really smacked his elbow on one of those turnbuckles. He's hanging on to it. Wolfie D senses the weakness and goes after it. Into the turnbuckles across the way once again. Danny Davis, and he's really hanging on to that elbow. I think his elbow hit that top turnbuckle. Oh, Wolfie D thrown into the turnbuckles. And now Danny Davis is just bouncing it from one side of the ring to the other. Takes him up high with a backdrop. And Wolfie D's in trouble. Wolfie D rolls out of the ring. Danny Davis grabs him by the hair, pulls him back in there. And the action continues. The fans want Danny to pop him with the right hand. He doesn't do it. This time he goes by. Look out. J.C. Ice grabbing Danny from outside. J.C. Ice interfering. Danny Davis with a warning. He's down on the floor. Now J.C. says, hey, I'm sorry. Oh, from off the top rope comes Wolfie D. Danny had his back turned, and Wolfie D ambushed him off the rope. Now to J.C. Ice coming over. Wolfie D back in the ring. The referee tolling the count on Danny Davis. He's back in the ring. Wolfie D picks him up. Into the rope. Coming off the ropes, the upper arm. Danny Davis runs into it. One. No, only a count of about 1.5, and Danny Davis able to break out of it. He's still alive. The champion in trouble there briefly as J.C. Ice got involved, diverted his attention. We talked about it earlier in the match. You got to stay focused on your opponent. Danny Davis knows that. But a lapse just for a moment allowed Wolfie D to gain an advantage. A press by Danny Davis. J.C. Ice is up on the apron. The referee doesn't see it. He held it there at least for a 5 count. But the referee, by the time he turns around and sees what's happening, Wolfie D is able to break out of it. Wolfie D still alive. Danny Davis, a victim again of J.C. Ice over in the corner. This one should be over, fans. The 3 count should have fallen, and Danny Davis should be walking out with his hands raised. Danny up on one knee. J.C. Ice hanging onto the pressure point on the right side of the neck. J.C. Ice again jumping up on the apron. Again diverting referee Paul Neighbors. And this time Wolfie D throws Danny Davis over the top rope. That's a disqualification automatically, but again, the referee didn't see it. J.C. Ice had him diverted. J.C. Ice, I said earlier, I sure would feel better about this situation if he weren't here, and he's turned it into 2 against 1. Unfair advantage for Wolfie D in this match. Danny Davis struggling back to his feet, up onto the apron. Wolfie D snaps his neck as he tries to get through the rope. He just falls down on the apron, climbs up into the ring, and Wolfie D is right there. He snaps him down. Drops with a lower leg across the neck. 1, 2. Oh, almost. It was very close. J.C. Ice was within 3/4 of a count of having Danny Davis pinned. Go, Danny, go, says the crowd. Danny's in trouble. He's body slammed. Wolfie D over to the corner. He's out on the apron. He's climbing the rope. You see the lights over his head. He's up close to him. And here he comes. He does a flip along the way. Danny Davis able to move. And Wolfie D makes a mistake. Danny Davis going after the challenger now. Concentrating on putting him down and pinning those shoulders. And he using a little hair, slamming the head into the turnbuckle. Crowd's all for him. Referee's warning him, don't pull the hair. Off the rope, Danny Davis catches him with a clothesline. Here's the cover. Count of 2. No, only a 2 count. Wolfie D able to break out of it at the count of 2. Looks like Danny might have had him for a moment. A powerful shot by Danny Davis. Danny braces himself. Reverse neck breaker and a cover. J.C. Ice trying to jump into the ring right there. The referee holding him, keeping from getting him in there. But meanwhile, there's a count of about 30 that Danny Davis should have. What's the referee doing here? Master of Terror nails Danny Davis from outside. Puts Wolfie D on top of Danny Davis. The referee able to keep J.C. Ice out of the action. Now turns and sees Wolfie D with a cover over Danny Davis. 1, 2, 3. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, fans. The referee never saw Master of Terror coming in here off the top rope. But it happened. Master of Terror blasted Danny Davis, and Wolfie D, as a result, is being awarded the USWA middleweight title. We'll be back. Papa Shango still to come.